Crossover, issue number 7. That's right, folks. The first arc of this book, the first 6 issues, it's now collected in a trade. You know, Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw did an amazing job of creating this comic book love letter and dedication to everything they've worked on and knew before that, and I think that's great. But this time around, we're getting away from Cates for a little bit. We're going to be focusing on a book that is drawn by Phil Hester and is written by the ever-lovely Chip Zdarsky. Now, one thing I want to say before we get into this book, something that I always explore and I'd like to talk about, is the idea of meta-narrative in your storytelling. Because I like the idea. I think it's very important to get meta when it needs to be. I think there's more examples of meta being used terribly wrong and like thinking it's smarter than its audience and coming across as like tone deaf and a waste of time. I'm happy to say that this issue of Crossover is the opposite of that, because Chip Zdarsky just knew what he was doing, and it is such a well-written book. I cannot wait to get into this. So, we open up, we're in Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. I know this place pretty well. My mother was born here, so I'm familiar with it. This guy named, was it Dave Murray, I think is the name he's going under. He's just serving burgers, but he's not doing a good job of it because it's not what he does. He's just really bad at it. He can't get the, like the grilling right. Not doing a good job. He cut back later to where he's in like some random building. It's like his bedroom in a hotel or something. He's calling his wife, just saying, "I miss you. I hope we can get this all settled soon. Maybe the people that are looking to kill me aren't going to come to Canada." And you're like, someone's coming to kill Dave Murray? Who could it be? What would that mean? So he's just like insecure and he's sitting on his bed, and we learn that his real name is Steve Murray, but you might know him from a better pseudonym that he uses when he's being a professional writer or drawer. Chip Zdarsky, that's right, Steve Murray we were following in this book is actually Chip Zdarsky writing about himself. I love it. It's brilliant. So he goes to a comic book store, and he's walking in, just looking at all this stuff. It's pretty much just like a bunch of crap going away. He talks to this random guy who like works at the store. He's like, "Are you Chip Zdarsky?" He's like, "Yes, I am." So they talk in a diner later, and it's basically like, "Yeah, once we saw what happened to Brian K. Vaughan, I just started driving away. I was terrified. I didn't know where to go, so I laid low in Canada. Got a job as a line cook. Not good at it. Everything is just going crazy." And there's, I'm just like, Chip, you fucking brilliant bastard. This is so good. I love it. We kind of teased it when we saw it, like, oh, someone killed Brian K. Vaughan, and then people like Scott Snyder and like Chip Zdarsky were missing, and nobody knew where they were. I love it. This is so good. I love it. There is somebody going around hunting comic book creators, and Chip had to fake his, he pretty much like faked his death, changed his name, and started to hide out in the Canadian wilderness. So I'm like, yeah, you're fucking Dexter, bro. I love it. Oh, I love it. So he's like, I don't know who's trying to kill us. It could literally be anybody, it could be like just like some stupid cosmic thing. It could literally be a comic book character who's coming to kill us. And he's like, we made their fictional lives so shitty, but that's our job. That's what we did. And basically we kind of get like a rundown of some people who could potentially be killing Chip Zdarsky. Is it Howard the Duck? Probably not. Is it Jughead? Probably not. Is it Star-Lord? Probably not. That's not who they are. And then he talks about John and Susie from Sex Criminals. And he's like, probably not them, but there's something I keep thinking about when it came to Sex Criminals. Like, Matt and I, we loved that book so much. We loved those characters in that. We poured our heart and soul into it, and they never hurt us. But there are other characters in the book, right, that might want to hurt me. And he's like, I keep thinking about this issue we did, issue 14 of Sex Criminals. And right away, I knew exactly what he was talking about. Before we continue down this book, I want to say, I fucking love Sex Criminals. It is one of my favorite comic books of all time. It is so brilliantly written and created. It's just a beautiful craftsmanship of comic bookdom. And issue 14, I knew exactly what he was talking about, and I cannot wait to get into it. So we'll talk about it when we get the reveal. It's so good. And he's like, there's something that happened in that book that might want to hurt me. And I'm just like, damn, dude, this is so meta. I love it. So then he's just talking about, like, there's so much stuff in the crossover. I was going to write Spectacular Spider-Man again. And I'm like, maybe that's true. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Who knows? So he just leaves the diner later. It's now snowing in this area. And he's talking to his wife again. And he's just like, oh, I love you. I was just with a friend. A lot of weird stuff happening. And he's walking down the street. He starts to see, like, this thing in the shadow that looks familiar. And what is it? It's him. But the comic book version of him. And you know what? He thinks that the comic book version of himself wants to kill him. Now, for those of you who have not read Sex Criminals and might be a little confused about this at this point in the book, in issue 14 of Sex Criminals, there is a scene that is so like intense, and you're trying to find like the right emotional weight and way to like present these panels in the book, that instead of actually like, you know, describing and creating the scene, inside issue 14, we see that Chip Zdarsky actually drew a conversation he had with Matt Fraction, where the two of them were just like, I don't know how to write this scene, I don't know how to draw this scene, so how about instead of like trying to come up with how to make this scene like emotionally resonate, we just put ourselves into the book explaining how we can't figure out to get the right weight. So, technically speaking, there are two versions of Chip Zdarsky in this crossover world. There's the real one, and then there's the Chip Zdarsky that drew himself in Sex Criminals issue 14, and now he thinks that that version of himself is trying to kill him. Oh my god, dude, what? I love it. He's just like, it's probably full of all the anger and hate I have in me, and he's just like, no, you dumbass, I'm trying to save you. So this version of Chip is trying to save Chip Zdarsky. They go back to a place where they're just talking, and again, this is how you do meta. When you have a version of yourself you're talking to, and he's like, I can't believe you thought I'd want to kill you. That's not what I'm capable of. And it's just like a man breaking down how he's so insecure and suicidal, and he just has so much self-doubt and confusion and anger in himself that he'd imagine that any version of himself that he created would want to come and kill him for making him feel the same way he does. And I'm like, fucking hell, Chip Zdarsky, are you okay? What is wrong with you, bro? But the comic book version of Chip is just like, nah, dude. Like, I know what I am, and I'm comfortable with who I am. Like, I'm a fucking horny bad boy, and I'm pretty sick. Like, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm sorry you have all that doubt and suicidal tendencies in your own brain. I feel like that sucks. I'm so sorry, but I'm okay. The version that you created of yourself doesn't want to kill you. And I hope you understand that. Like, it's really dark, and you're just, like, burdened with the reality of who you are. Like, that sounds terrible. And it's just really intense. And he's like, yeah, I mean, like, suicidal ideation. It's like, I don't fucking know. I'm not, like, Hickman smart. And you're like, that's pretty crazy. I'm like, yes! This is how you do meta! Just a man so insecure about himself that he thought the creation of himself that he made would want to kill him for making him feel like him. Oh, Chip, you bloody genius, mate. I love it. I love it. So then he's just lying in bed, and it gets a little self-indulgent, which I love. And we just see, like, I want someone to love me, and somebody does love you. It's yourself. And we see that both versions of Chip Zdarsky are lying in bed together, just spooning. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. I love it. I need just a tear in the real one's eye. Oh, you're brilliant. So the Zdarskys are headed out on the road. They're trying to figure out where to go, but they see a figure standing in the snowstorm. They kind of swerve off the road and crash their car. And we see that the comic Zdarsky's like, go, get out of here right now. I'm trying to save your ass. You have to go. So he forces the real one to leave. He says his goodbyes. And we see that the comic Chip Zdarsky kind of gets beat up by this mysterious figure that we can't see. And you're just like, who could it be? What is it? Or who could it have been that killed him? And you're like, it might be somebody that he's written, which I think would be an indication. Or maybe it's another writer that he was like, was there another version of Chip Zdarsky we saw in a comic somewhere? I don't know. It could be anybody. Maybe it's Matt Fraction. Like, he's just coming to kill him. That'd be funny. But comic book Chip gets killed. And we see that regular Chip Zdarsky's trying to escape still. He's got to go talk to some people. And we realize that the entire thing he was explaining was a conversation he was having to certain characters. And he's like, you know, these people, they're not inherently bad. Some of them are scared. They're frightened, but they're willing to do the right thing and save me. And the superhero version of Chip saved himself. And that is so intense and just amazing. And we realize that he's finally like, I don't know, like there's something going on here, and I know like this life is important, and like there's something to that, and I don't understand it. So we realize that this version of Chip Zdarsky was talking to a couple detectives, and who are the detectives that Chip Zdarsky was talking to? The motherfuckers from Power. Remember that Brian Michael Bendis book? Oh, You have found the right chords to strike, my friend. And with each issue, I just get more and more impressed with what crossover is. I think it could easily have become a bloated, jumbled mess. But if you keep doing one-offs like this, where you just let Chip Zdarsky have an existential crisis about his own existence and writing himself and how he has self-doubt and suicidal thoughts and how that version of himself might want to come kill him because of what he created, and then it ends with them pretty much just like fucking in like a hotel room, just like embracing each other, just loving who he is and himself. Oh man, crossover. You are just really going for it, man. And it works so well. Phil Hester's art looked gorgeous. Every part of this book just makes you happy. It makes you so impressed with what it's doing. I am just blown away that Chip just did this, because it's ballsy. I don't think every writer could do this. Look at themselves and just like create this kind of mystery. That's brilliant. Good for you, man. Literally good for you. It's really cool. Oh, I'm just amazed, man. This is the stuff where you read it and you're like, this is inspiring. This makes me want to write again. This makes me want to go just like type up the shit, finish that novel, write that comic book. It just makes you want to do that stuff because it's so good and poignant and fun and meta in a way that makes meta work. I love it. So, crossover, issue number 7, I am going to give a 10 out of 10. Holy shit, is it good. So thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.